Aloha and welcome to Greece. Awakening, realization, enlightenment, finally knowing who you truly are, finally falling in love with yourself without going back. What is awakening? I will just start from the beginning. This awakening in which something within you starts to come up to the surface, starts to say, my dear being, it is time. It is time for you to bring all that you have experienced back home. It is time for you to remember who you are, why you came here, and to remember your presence. Awakening is a point in space and time, and beyond space and time. It's a potential. You will create, as I did, some of the strangest, some of the most magical, some of the most illogical circumstances in your life, because once you step into yourself, things start to not make sense anymore. Things go beyond the logical plane. Things go beyond the mind. At one point, it will be time for you to let it all go. In this awakening, many things will come up to the surface. Judgments, guilt and shame, the wonderful things that ultimately you understand that they are keeping you from loving yourself. Guilt and shame for many lifetimes, and also in this lifetime. You will discover, dear friend, that no matter what you think now, all the stories are buried deep within your heart, whether you remember them or not. All the traumas, all the joys also, all the connections are there, and they will come up to the surface to be clarified and released. Relationships, family relationships, partnerships, so they will be released, and then if it is appropriate, you will reconnect with that part of you, of your life, but in a whole new and different way. On your way to enlightenment, you will lose everything. All that you hold dear, all your values, all your stubbornness, and yes, all your passions. There's this carousel. It goes up and down, and up and down. And dear friend, try to remember this, because this is another great gift in awakening. Understand this: you will have amazing days, days of pure bliss, days of pure delight, days of pure joy, pure passion. But after those, and there's nothing wrong with that, there will be bad days and depression and so shitty days, days in which you don't want to wake up, days in which the mind just rumbles and chats all the time. So the deeper you get into those low days, the aspects, the stories have more pull over you. Another big pattern that you will encounter: thinking that there is something wrong with you. I know I talked about this in the last sessions, but this thing, and also ties in with comparison. Dear friends, the comparison aspect, oh, it's such a bitch sometimes when you play with it. But remember, it's just a story, it's just an aspect. You don't have to listen to it. But actually, my suggestion is to appreciate your journey exactly as it is. Today I would like to talk about some of the beautiful instruments. There are little friends along your journey. So remember that this process is a totally natural one. So even if you didn't do absolutely anything, you would still make it. It is inevitable. This is why you are here. This is why you were created by you in the human form. And so, the first and most important one, I would say, is the breathing. When you allow yourself to breathe deep, you can allow all energies to find their balance. And also you can facilitate yourself, and this is the next instrument, letting go of things that don't serve you anymore. The next instrument is choosing. And dear friends, I cannot stress this enough. Choosing is extremely, extremely, extremely important. You're taking responsibility for your life. When you start to make choices, you take responsibility for your creation. So what can you expect the awesome things in this whole madness of you getting back to you? I would say one of the most important things is that finally you have peace, like inner peace. One of the beautiful things is that you will not have to have a job. When you start to understand that it is your energy and all you have to do is receive it and open up to the many skills that you have, the many facets of you, the many parts of you that know how to do so many things, abundance will come at you in many forms. No more having to wake up for anything or anyone other than your natural flow. Your senses open up to new levels that you never thought before, even your human senses. You have a few human senses, you have a lot more angelic senses, you start to become aware of many, many, many of them. And then you get to enjoy everything even more. And this is the setup that I will use to tell my story. It all started a few million years ago. It did, but I will tell you the story from this lifetime. I am Master B, here to shine my light, to share my truth, my stories with you.